I know that this is a football video and we are talking Miami Dolphins, but for a little bit today, I wanted to do a tribute to the GOAT, one of the greatest of all time, John Cena. He's having his last match tonight, Saturday night main event, and he is absolutely a part of my childhood. Growing up as a 6 year old, getting into wrestling, getting into WWE, I grew up watching John Cena. Grew up watching John Cena go up against the likes of Randy Orton, Batista, The Big Show, Triple H. John Cena has had many wars throughout his career, and I've always seen the clip when he comes out, interrupts Kurt Angle, and accepts Kurt Angle's open challenge on his first night, and he beats Kurt Angle, and the rest is history for John Cena. He's one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time. He is a 17-time WWE champion, and man, tonight is going to be a very emotional. It's going to be a very emotional night, seeing John Cena wrestle for one final time, one final run down to the ring, one final five knuckle shuffle, one final attitude adjustment, and I really hope that he goes out on top as a winner against Gunther tonight. I would be very upset if John Cena lost his final match. So today, I'm honoring John Cena by talking about him for a little bit right there, and I'm wearing this shirt that I got at SummerSlam this year. It was an absolute pleasure seeing John Cena in person this year against Cody Rhodes in the street fight. How great of a street fight that was. So I just want to take a little bit, honor one of the GOATs, honor one of the greatest of all time, John Cena. But okay, let's get to business. Monday night, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Miami Dolphins, Pittsburgh Steelers. The Dolphins are 6-7 going into the game. Kids, this is your week. This is the only week that you're going to have a couple teams in the league with a record of 6-7. So, kids, I'm sure you're going to have a blast with that one. The Steelers are 7-6. They're coming off a win last week against the Baltimore Ravens, 27-22. And just a couple weeks ago, Steelers fans were chanting to fire their head coach after they had just absolutely crapped the bed against the Buffalo Bills. And then they come out last week in a game absolutely no one expected them to win, and they win. So, for the Miami Dolphins, this is the test. This is the game to prove to us who you really are, because they're on a 4-game winning streak right now. The Miami Dolphins are one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now. They've gone from 2-7 to 6-7, and they have an opportunity on Monday night to get back to 500. And if they get back to 500, they're in the playoff race. I'm not even worried about playoff scenarios right now, because I have told myself, when they keep winning out and you see the Dolphins in the hunt graphics on CBS or Sunday Night Football, wherever they are, I don't talk about playoffs until they get back to 500. And they have the opportunity to do that on Monday night. But I'm very scared because, as history has stated, the Dolphins don't perform well in these games. The Dolphins don't perform well in prime time. The Dolphins don't perform well late in the season on the road in the cold. But you have an opportunity to knock off so many narratives. You have an opportunity to win late in the season on the road. You have an opportunity to win a cold weather game late in the season. You have an opportunity to go ahead and beat a team with a winning record on the road late in the season. So you do those three things, man. You win this game, you're checking off all of those boxes. You're proving that this is a different Miami Dolphins team from years past. You're proving that you can go on the road late in the year and you can win games. You're proving that you can actually beat good teams late in the year. And you're actually proving that you can go in a cold weather environment and you can win a game if you have to. And Monday night, they have to win this game. There's no ifs, ands about it. And my biggest concern is it's not even the playoffs. It's the future. Because if you win this game, if the Dolphins win this game, now I don't know what their decision is going to be on Mike McDaniel once this season's over. But the way I see things as a fan perspective, if they win this game on the road, Mike McDaniel's going to be the head coach of the Dolphins next year. But in my opinion, if they lose this game and say they finish the season 7-10, 8-9, all bets are off. For me, at least, all bets are off. If Mike McDaniel's gone and he's not the head coach, honestly, that might be the best case scenario because he would have proven that he hasn't changed a thing. Now, I did see something very interesting. Okay, I'm recording this on Saturday because the game is Monday night. So give it a little bit of extra time with injuries and stuff like that. Now, I'm recording this at 1:40 in the afternoon. I don't know if I'm not sure when the injury report is coming out. I will read you the injuries for the injury report. But something that's very interesting, and I'm very glad I filmed this on a Saturday for a game that's happening Monday night. Tonight, the Dolphins are going to practice in Pittsburgh. They're flying to Pittsburgh today, and they're going to get acclimated to this cold weather. This is something McDaniel and the Dolphins used to never do. They didn't do this for the playoff game in Kansas City. They didn't do this last year for the Green Bay game on Thanksgiving night. They didn't do this in the times that they had to go play Buffalo in Buffalo late in the year. They used to never do this. So the fact that they're making an adjustment this year, I love this move from the Dolphins organization. Barry Jackson tweets out, in a wise move, the Dolphins will practice under the lights and in the cold tonight in Pittsburgh. Finally, some common sense with this team. They're a team from Miami, Florida, who's used to 80-degree weather on Sundays or whenever they play Monday night, Thursday night. They're used to that warm temperature. They got to get acclimated to this. They've got to get used to this weather because historically this team is not good. And yeah, they did well in it last week. They did. I will give him that. I know they played the Jets. The Jets had an undrafted rookie quarterback. But that's fine. They looked really good last week in the cold. And here's the thing, though. It's a step up in competition. The Jets are 3-10, and the Jets are going to have a top 5 pick in the draft this year. The Steelers are in first place in the AFC North. The Steelers are coming off a big win. The Steelers have a lot of injuries right now. But the Steelers, they have momentum. And that crowd is going to be rocking on Monday night in Pittsburgh. And I'm going to throw out 2 stats to you before we get into this game, okay? Since 1991, okay? 1991, the Pittsburgh Steelers, when they are home on Monday Night Football, they haven't lost at home on Monday night in their last 22 games on Monday night. 22 games. That's a lot. That is a lot. So the Steelers have a very good track record of winning at home on Monday night with Mike Tomlin and since 1991. But mostly that's been with Mike Tomlin as the head coach. Here's another thing. TJ Watt, hope for a speedy recovery, okay? He had a lung issue earlier this week in the facility. He has a punctured lung. He was hospitalized on Wednesday. He got home Thursday night. And because of that punctured lung, TJ Watt is not playing in this game on Monday night, which for the person, TJ Watt, I really hope he's okay. That's very scary to have that situation with the lung. But boy, for the Miami Dolphins, that is huge. That is absolutely huge. That TJ Watt is not going to be on the field on Monday night. We are not going to have TJ Watt on the field Monday night when the Steelers go and they play the Dolphins. That is going to be big. And the Steelers still have a good pass rush. And still good defenders. Jalen Ramsey. Their defense is very old, though. But you think of the storylines going into this game. You know, before this week even started, now TJ Watt not playing, that is a huge one. And their record with TJ off the field is 1-10. So take a look at that. Okay? So before we go into this game in depth, be sure to subscribe to the Big Fat Field channel. Okay, we've got 4 games left, which is very sad. It's very sad with the season coming to an end. We only have 4 of these left. 4 previews, 4 post-game recaps, and I doubt this team's making the playoffs, respectfully. We got Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Tampa Bay, and the New England Patriots. So, subscribe. This is basically the last stretch of the season. And then, once the off season hits, I make my season recap, like review of the whole season. And then that's it. I'll make a video, like, in the off season with, like, free agency and the draft, but I don't do, I'll do wrestling in the off season. So, but subscribe, man, because we got some big games coming up, especially if we keep winning. Hopefully the ship isn't over. Hopefully these Dolphins find a way to get in the playoffs, but it's just going to be very hard. So, all right, man. Let's do it. Let's freaking do it. Injuries. Now, no game status has came out yet for either team outside of TJ Watt that he's already been ruled out for this game. The Dolphins, the only ones you really got to watch is Devon Achane, which it sounds like he's going to play. McDaniel said he's no snap limitation. He's full go. So basically, the Dolphins are good. Jack Jones popped up on the injury report, but he's good to go. We're going to be good. The Dolphins are probably not going to have much. We're not going to have much to worry about as far as the injuries go on Monday night. But for the Steelers, we got a long list of players for the Steelers. Man, oh man. Let me read you off these names. We got a lot. Defensive lineman, Yahya Black. He was a full participant on Thursday, but he did not practice on Friday. Defensive tackle Cameron Hayward popped up on the injury report with a knee injury. He was a full practice on Thursday, did not practice on Friday. Offensive lineman Andres Pete, left tackle, concussion. He didn't practice Thursday or Friday. Cornerback James Pierre hasn't practiced Thursday or Friday. TJ Watt's already been ruled out. Defensive tackle Derek Harmon, which is a big one. He did not practice Thursday or Friday. And when he's played in the 9 games for the Steelers this year, I think they averaged something like 96 yards a game. like allowing 96 yards a game on the ground. But when he doesn't play, it's like in the 180s. So if he's not out there, that's big. That's absolutely big. And then that's mostly the names you got to watch for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we go from that to the stats for this game. We're going to start with the Dolphins offense against the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Now, like I just said, most of the Steelers injuries, they come from their defensive line. Cameron Hayward, he's popping up on the injury report. You got Yaya Black, defensive. He's the nose tackle. Derek Harmon, he's a first-round pick from Oregon. If he doesn't play, that is big. That is absolutely big. But they still got some good pass rushers. They got Alex Highsmith. They got Nick Herbig. So they still got some playmakers. But they don't have most of their defensive linemen. TJ's not going to be playing. The Steelers are 1-10 in games without TJ Watt. Man, oh man. Could this be a big night for the Dolphins offense? And that's what we're going to talk about first. We're going to talk about the Miami Dolphins offense against the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. And the Dolphins offense is ranked 25th, 304 yards per game. The Steelers defense is ranked 28th, 369 yards allowed per game. Now, I still think the Steelers are a dangerous defense. They can get takeaways. They've had 17 takeaways this season, which is a lot, or something like that. But they've got a lot of takeaways on defense. That football hits the ground, the Steelers are going to recover it. So they're very good at getting takeaways. Even though they're ranked at 28th, the Steelers are still a dangerous defense. So I'm not taking that away from the Steelers' defense. I'm not doing it. Dolphins' passing offense is ranked 30th. Okay? 192 yards per game in the air. Steelers' passing defense is ranked 28th. 261 yards allowed in the air. The Dolphins' rushing offense is ranked 8th. 126.5 yards per game on the ground. The past 4 weeks, the Dolphins have averaged 192 yards per game on the ground. The Dolphins are dangerously running the football right now in a very effective way. And we'll talk about that. The Steelers' run defense is ranked 21st, 125.5 yards per game allowed on the ground. And I want to talk about the Steelers' running game for a little bit. Because these last 2 games, they've played the Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens. And they allow 249 yards on the ground against the Buffalo Bills. 249 yards. The Bills had the most rushing yards from a opposing team at like Acrisure Stadium in like 20 years. Absolutely wild. And then last week, they played the Baltimore Ravens, and the Ravens had 217 yards on the ground. So in the past 2 games, the Steelers have allowed a combined 466 yards on the ground. And you go back to last week's game against the Jets, the Dolphins ran for 239 yards on the ground. And when you have a quarterback who struggles in these type of games, and you have an offensive line who struggles in pass protection because you got to wait for the defender to come to you. In the running game, they're getting right off the ball, and they like to be physical in the running game, especially our left side of the ball with Patrick Paul and Jonas Savaiinaya. So you guys know what I'm about to say. You know what I'm about to say. Run the fucking ball. Mike McDaniel, do not get away from the run. You've got to run at the Steelers. You've got to run at these defensive linemen. The offensive line, they've got to play physical. They've got to play tough. And I like the fact that they're getting used to this cold weather because they're going out there and practicing tonight in Pittsburgh. You've got to be tough and get the rotation. All three of your running backs are playing really well right now. Devon Achane is probably a top 3 running back in all football right now. Get him in the game. That 39-yard run, I think it was a 43-yard run, but that run in the third play of the game last week against the Jets was his best run all season. And he almost scored on that play. He is playing at an insane level right now. And if he didn't get hurt, he would have had 200 rushing yards against the Jets by himself. Get these guys the ball. Devon Achane, Jalen Wright, and Ollie Gordon. They're probably going to stack the box, more than likely. You got to keep doing it. You got to do it until it absolutely doesn't work. Okay? Number 2, Mike. Stick to the run. Again, it's related to running the ball. Just do not get away from it. If you're getting yards, if you're getting runs that are like 2 yards and then here you lose 1, that does not mean you go away from it the next drive. You keep doing it. This team's not good against the run. They're just not. The last 2 games, they've been dominated on the ground against the run. Just please, don't get away from the game plan. Keep running the damn ball. Okay? And the third one is we've got to have someone else rather than Jalen Waddle step up in the passing game. Because as much as the Dolphins want to run the football on the Pittsburgh Steelers, there's going to have to come a time in this game where A, Tua Tagovailoa is going to have to make a pass. He's going to have to make a good throw. And then B, somebody outside of Jalen Waddle has to step up. The first option I think of is Darren Waller. I purposely don't think they get him the ball enough. He's a big threat. He's a long tight end, and he's great in the passing game. So my number 1 option in the pass game outside of Jalen Waddle right now would be Darren Waller. Get Big Waller the football, especially when we're in the end zone. His first 3 games back, he scored 4 touchdowns. So I'm looking, when we need a big play in the passing game, Tua's got to be on point. I'm getting the ball to Darren Waller. Keep getting the ball to Greg Dulcich too. He's been awesome in the passing game. And these design plays from Mike McDaniel, you're getting receivers wide open. Most of the time, Dulcich has been wide open. So I'm getting Greg Dulcich the ball as well. He's been really good in the passing game. So I think somebody outside of Jalen Waddle's got to step up. But those are my 3 keys for the Dolphins offense, is running the football, sticking to the run, and then someone else outside of Jalen Waddle in the passing game has to step up. And the 2 players that I think of when that's the case is Darren Waller and Greg Dulcich. Okay. I'm going to run through this really quickly. The Dolphins defense against the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. The Dolphins defense is ranked 19th in the NFL, 334.5 yards per game. The Steelers offense is ranked 27th, 284.5 yards per game. The Dolphins passing defense is ranked 10th, 217.5 yards per game. The Dolphins secondary is playing really well right now. Steelers' passing offense is ranked 24th. The Dolphins' rushing defense is ranked 25th. The Steelers' rushing offense is ranked 29th. And in the offseason, the Steelers, they traded for Jonnu Smith, who was the Dolphins tight end last year because we didn't pay him. And he's a complete non-factor in the offense. I'm not really scared of Pittsburgh's receivers outside of DK Metcalf. I am very scared of DK Metcalf. He is a big, tall, physical threat. So I hope that Rasul Douglas can just lock him up. Jack Jones and Rasul Douglas, whichever one it is, I just hope we have a good game plan. I know Anthony Weaver. He's been in the AFC North basically his whole career. He played for the Ravens. He was a defensive line coach with the Ravens. So he's very much used to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And, Aaron Rodgers at 42 years old, you think of all the storylines going into this game. The trade in the offseason, TJ Watt. Aaron Rodgers is still slinging it at 42 years old, and he's a little bit mobile. So the number one key, we got to get to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, if you give him time in the pocket all day long, he's slinging that football across the field to guys like DK Metcalf and Pat Freiermuth, okay? Number two, you got to stop the run. I know their running game is not great, but it all starts with stopping the run. Stop Kenneth Gainwell. Stop Jaylen Warren. You stop their big runs, you're forcing the Steelers to be one-dimensional, okay? And the last thing, which you've done so well in these past 4 games, is getting turnovers. You get turnovers with the defense and and you set your offense up in very critical, good situations, good things happen. Okay? So I'm really looking forward to this game. I am. I'm really looking forward to this game on Monday night. This is the big test. Is going on the road in Pittsburgh in a primetime game. This is everything you can ask for if you're a fan of the Dolphins. This is everything you can ask for. Now the team's got to go out there and they've got to execute. And I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to the game. But also, I'm fucking scared. I'm scared. Because when these games happen in the Mike McDaniel, Tua Tagovailoa era, they lose. They fold. And I just hope that's not the case, man. Just run the fucking ball. Just run the ball. So, we'll see what happens. I think I'll make a little recap video tomorrow night too. Like during Sunday Night Football or whatever. That game does not matter. Vikings-Cowboys. I think I'll do a little bit of a recap tomorrow of everything that happens around the NFL going into this Monday Night Football game between the Dolphins and the Steelers. Does it impact the game on Monday night? We'll talk about it tomorrow night on the channel. But guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Subscribe to the Big Fight Fuel channel. Hit the like button if you like what you heard from me. Comment down below your predictions Monday night for the Steelers-Dolphins game in Pittsburgh. It's going to be very cold. This team has to have mental toughness. Just like I said last week against the Jets, they got to be mentally tough this week against the Steelers. Subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. I'm going to be live tweeting during the game Monday night, Dolphins-Steelers. You're going to see all my updates and my tweets over on Twitter on Monday night. And then TikTok. Follow me over there, Conlon_Joseph. But guys, I will see you on here tomorrow night recapping the Sunday slate of games of Week 15. Have a good night. Stay safe. And as always, stay classy and go Dolphins.